everyone, and welcome to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about some capsule wardrobe planning. As the weather hopefully starts to cool off. It's literally like 900 degrees here today. It's so hot. But eventually it's going to get cooler. I know that's going to happen, and being a seamstress, we know we all have to plan a little bit ahead in order to have things to wear when the weather is cool. So this time around, I'm going to do another mini capsule this month of September, but this time around I was going to try something a little different. I thought it might be kind of neat if I did 3 separate mini capsules. Excuse me, I have a barking dog. Okay, this time I thought it would be fun to do 3 separate mini capsules, and I thought as a little added challenge and something added a little extra fun would be to pick a different pattern company or a different collection, kind of pattern collection for each one of these. And the idea is that I'll do a little set of fabrics obviously for each one, but they'll kind of build off of each other, kind of in the same color story. So to start off with, I'm sure if you're part of the sewing world, you're well aware that Sew Over It released their newest ebook, which is Work to Weekend, I think. It's either Work to Weekend or Weekend, I think it's Work to Weekend, last week. And I snatched it up pretty quick. I just love the idea of having garments with the idea that they can go a little more business. Not that I need that a lot, but I like dressing up in everyday life, so there you go, to a little bit more casual. So I picked that up, and so for my first little capsule, I wanted to highlight those 5 patterns from that Sew Over It ebook. And I'm going to pop a picture up here of the cover of that ebook. So I'm just going to go through each of the 5 patterns, and I'm going to make one iteration of each of the 5. So I'm going to go through my fabrics that I've chosen, and I actually need your help on one of the patterns. I can't decide between 2. So to start off, I'm actually going to start off with the coat. So I pop a picture up here, but the Anna coat, it's a trench coat, is the coat that is in this ebook. I love a trench coat. I have a pink rayon one for the spring, but I would love to have one for like fall time weather. I also am a little bit obsessed with, I mean, plaid is classic, but I'm a little bit obsessed with the brighter plaid trend that is kind of coming into its own this fall. Now, I don't have anything like wildly, I mean, this is a very traditional plaid print, but I do like a little bit of the brighter colors, and I'm totally going to be playing off of this moving forward. So what I've decided to do for my Anna trench coat is to use this plaid. I do not know the name of this tartan. It's a classic one. I'm sure it has a name of some sort. But anyway, I'm going to use this plaid. This was gifted to me from someone that was getting rid of a few things in their stash. I am so obsessed with this idea. I think if this works out like I think it's going to be phenomenal. Now this is a pattern for an unlined trench coat, but because this is wool, and it's a little bit loosely woven. I mean, you can kind of see where things are even starting to like come undone on the cut edges a little bit already. I'm going to need to line it. So I'm going to just draft my own lining. That's really not hard. And if anyone has any questions about that, I'd be glad to do a little tutorial video on that. So just pop a comment below if that's something you would like to see. But adding a lining to a coat is really pretty easy. So that is what I'm going to do. And again, most of all 3 of the collections are going to kind of play off the colors in this, which are navy, but there's also like a brighter blue in there. See where it gets just a little bit brighter, and you've got navy, and then you've got kind of your darker greens, but I'm going to totally take some liberty with the greens that are in there. And then also this kind of creamy oatmeal color, which I'm going to pull, I'm going to do some grays at some point, not for this collection, but one of the other little mini ones, and then also yellow. But I think moving forward, I'm going to throw some hot pink in there because I love hot pink with all those colors. So, and it's my collection. So there we go. But again, not for this one. So that's what I'm going to do my Anna coat or jacket, trench, whatever. So that is the first thing. Next is the Camille, I believe, jumpsuit or pants. I'm so tempted by this jumpsuit, and I am so going to make that at some point. But I think I'm more drawn to the version, and I'll pop the picture of the version with the more fluttery sleeve, and that's just not conducive to getting into a jacket. It's really hard to get those kind of sleeves into a jacket. So I'm kind of wondering if that might be a little bit more like late spring, early summer. It might work better for where I live. So I'm going to push that off until a little bit later. But I am obsessed with wide leg trousers, and these could be amazing. So I have pulled this. Like I said, I'm taking a little bit of liberty with the colors, with the green, out of my stash. It is a wool crepe. Actually, well, yeah, I would call it a wool crepe, like a wool crepe suiting. It does have nylon in it. This is not 100% wool. I got it for a song at Fabric Mart. But I am obsessed with this in pants. Like, this is going to be amazing. But it is wool, so it's also going to need a lining. Again, very easy to do. And if you guys have any questions on how to do that, let me know and I can kind of show you. Although you can probably Google any of that, and it's pretty easy to find out. So anyway, that is going to be my pants. I'll show you both of the bottoms. I am not making any of the dress versions this time around. I'm doing everything in separates, just because that's what I tend to go for in my colder weather dressing. Although probably in the subsequent little mini capsules, I'll probably be pulling some dresses in, because I do wear them occasionally. But I was just a little bit more drawn to the separates in this one. So those are the pants that I'm going to make for this collection. And then this is where I need your help. The Kate dress also comes, which I'll pop a picture. You can do a skirt as just by itself. And I kind of like that. It's got these really cool like little side vents that I think are kind of fun in the pattern. And it's just a little bit of a fuller skirt. And I think it's going to look, it's going to be a fun one, an easy one to wear. So here are my options. Sorry. Number one, I have kind of this hunter green. It's coming up. It's not this dark. It's almost teal, like a dark teal. Rayon twill that I bought at our local fabrics shop here a long time ago. You know, it's nice and weighty. It's a nice rayon twill. So I've got this color. And then I also have this 100% wool crepe. Wool crepe is really one of my favorite fabrics. I just love the way it moves. I love the way it drapes. I love the way it feels. I love sewing with wool. It's one of my favorites. So I can't decide which one to make that skirt out of. So once you see the two tops that I'm making, maybe you can help me kind of sway me onto which colorway I should go for that skirt. But I think both of those would work great for that style. So next, I have the Dana dress, which I love, and I am totally going to make that dress, maybe even later this winter, because I feel like that could be layered so easily. I love its drapiness. I love the blousiness of it. I have a lot of that kind of fabric in my stash. But for now, I'm going to start off with making just a top. And actually, I think I have 3 meters of this fabric. It's got little birds on it. Isn't that fantastic? And they kind of go every which way, although you are looking, well, here we go. Is that better? I feel like they go every which way. Little birds on it with the green, and there's some brown in there, so I could bring like some reddish brown in at some point. And then there's even some more like true blue. This is a rayon, and I got this from Stone Mountain and Daughter Fabrics shortly after Christmas. I get Christmas money, and every year I go hog wild on online fabric shopping, because that's what you do when you're addicted to sewing and fabric. But anyway, I'm going to make that top out of this, and I have 3 meters of this, so I'm gonna have plenty of this left over, maybe to do a dress, probably not the Dana dress, but to do another dress later on down the line. And I just think it's so cute. I love the little birds, and I think it will be a great little layering piece. So that's what I'm going to do. So again, with the navy skirt, this would kind of create a monochrome look, which I kind of like. But I also like the green with it. Like, the green works with this as well. Okay, so that is 4 down. So here's the last one. The last one is the Edie top, and it is this boat neck top that's up here. I don't have tons of knit in my stash. I usually, when I buy knit, I sew it up pretty quickly, so I really don't hoard knit as much as I do some of the other fabric. So I was trying to be economical, and I was looking through my stash, and a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago, I was in a real kick of going shopping at Goodwill. We have some really great Goodwills in my local area, which is a thrift shop for those that aren't familiar. But I was kind of obsessed with going in and finding some like really quality fabric items and purchasing them, and then with the idea of refashioning them. I'd done some of that, but then kind of died off or whatever. And I was reminded, because that stuff doesn't live in my fabric stash, it lives in another little area of my sewing room. But I was kind of cleaning some things out and was reminded that I have a whole bunch of men's really big sweaters that were either merino wool or cashmere that I had bought at Goodwill. A couple of them have some little moth holes in them, but enough that I could either mend or cut around. But the idea is that I could use that kind of more for fabric. Not so much, well, I guess it's kind of refashioning, but really kind of just cutting them and using them as fabric. So I pulled this one. I had this navy one, and this one is merino, 100% merino, extra fine. But it is a gigantic men's mock turtleneck, which almost all of these are. I got a whole bunch in a whole bunch of different colors that were all mock turtlenecks and like a men's XXL. Still had the tags on them, so I don't know if someone bought them on sale and then decided they didn't work for them or whatever, but I bought them for like $2 a piece. So I am going to refashion this baby into the Edie top. So we will see how that works. And I think I don't know. Again, I have a whole bunch of these, and so I think, sorry, getting a low battery. I have a whole bunch of these, so I think eventually I may turn a couple of these into turtlenecks, because even though this is a mock turtleneck on a man, it actually would be a good turtleneck size for me. So I may make a couple more Rowans with some of these. I just kind of forgot I had them, so it's kind of like a treasure trove. And I also thought that I might do a video on that. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I turn a really big men's sweater into a current pattern, let me know, and I will happily film that process and show it, have that as a little series in and of itself. So anyway, that's it. That is my plans for September and getting this little mini capsule and following the entire Sew Over It Work to Weekend ebook. So again, if you would just leave me a comment, let me know which one I should choose for my Kate skirt. Again, I like the idea of the navy blue, because you could have a very monochromatic look with both the tops that I'm making, since they both are navy. But I also like the idea of having the green skirt and having that as well, especially underneath that coat. So anyway, please subscribe. I think that's it for today. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, if this is kind of your jam, and also if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, because again, that helps others find us and can get more of a conversation going. Again, leave a comment if you have any questions or if there's anything else that you'd like to see, and also let me know which fabric I should choose. And until next time, happy sewing. Bye.